never actually reviewed a set of earbuds, wireless earbuds that are meant for gaming until now. And the primary reason is because they just never really made much sense to me, right? They're Bluetooth. They're going to have some latency. They're going to sound okay. But like most earbuds now have a low latency gaming mode. But, there's really not much that you can say about them beside that. Well, the buds I'm looking at today are called the Soundcore VR P10 wireless gaming earbuds. And there's a really good reason why I'm looking at them. You can see it in the picture here. They have this little dongle that has a pass-through as well. But what this dongle does is it allows you to have a 2.4 gigahertz connection, which is now less than 30 milliseconds. So this is truly low latency connection. And the beautiful thing about that dongle being USB-C and having a pass-through mode is that you're able to use this on something like your, I'm not going to say Meta Quest 2. It's an Oculus Quest 2. Sue me, Facebook. Not calling you Meta either. You can attach it right there. And now, rather than using the speakers that are on your Quest 2 headset, which are admittedly pretty good, now you're going to hear audio in these probably much, much better earbuds right there coming off of that dongle. You can still charge your Quest 2 through that dongle. But more than even that, how many other things do you have around your house, gaming systems, that might be able to utilize this? How about a Steam Deck? How about a Nintendo Switch? Plug that into that C port, and you've got some pretty decent little earbuds for gaming. And I believe you can actually, yes, have dual connection, Bluetooth and this. So leave your dongle in your Oculus Quest 2 and take these with you wherever you go. Listen to music on your phone. And when you get home, boom, there you are on your Quest. Fantastic. We're going to test these things out. I'm going to unbox them. And then I'm going to test them. It's hard to test them when they're in a box, right? That's kind of hard to do. So let's do the unboxing first, and then we'll test them. Wireless VR earbuds, VR P10. Not the greatest name, VR P10, but I mean, still whatever. Lightning Sync wireless technology, dual wireless connection. Here's a question. If I'm using these on my Oculus Quest 2, playing a game, can I have music playing or like a podcast or an audiobook playing from my phone and still hear the audio from the game at the same time? That would be fantastic. We're going to have to check and see if that is the case. Simultaneous Bluetooth and dongle connections. 11 millimeter drivers, which are large, but not the largest I've ever seen. And they definitely have like a gaming look. Let's take this lid off here and you'll see what I mean. This looks like something that you would have had or found like as an item in the game Portal or something like that. It looks like a companion cube from Portal. That's not necessarily a bad thing. There's like a little piece of plastic. I guess that lights up. Does it slide up? How do I open this? Well, I don't like that. You have to kind of like pinch around. I do like the little purple circle though. That's pretty sick. And there are the earbuds themselves. They're relatively large. They actually don't have the tips pre-installed, which is kind of weird actually. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And they're not charged, or they've not been charged. Maybe they have some charge on them because of that. So we'll get these out of the way and then we'll go from there. I think that right there is where you're actually meant to keep the dongle, which is not in the thing already. So I'm guessing it's in here. Yes, that is where it is. I can't seem to get that out. Here is our little dongle, which, like I said, has passed through, and I believe it lights up as well. USB-C cable as well as some ear tips. I'm just going to go ahead and guess that I'm going to need the small ones because those other ones look really big, and some other earbuds I just tested from Soundcore, that was also the case. So let's get our dongle out here. Easy now. This is what I mean by dongle. When I say I'm going to get my dongle out, there's no need to call the police or anybody to get upset. It's fine. So this is pretty cool. I really like this idea. This is kind of a novel idea, and I'm really into it. I wish that this thing was easier to open. Like there's nothing to grab a hold of. It's very slippery. I don't like that at all. That's bad. Does it like magnetically connect? Oh, it does. It's magnetic. So it just lives in there. That is so cool. That is such a smart idea. I cannot tell you, I really can't state to you how much I don't like this case. It is so hard to open. Terrible design. But if they sound good and they work well, then we're going to forgive it. It looks cool, right? Like it's a cool look. Oh, it turned blue. Look at that. Look at all the colors, dude. This is fantastic. It looks cool. Okay, so we're on my Z Fold here, and I'm assuming I'm going to need to open up the Soundcore app again, and that we're going to set them up like that. So let's do add device. I literally just threw them because I can't open them. Like they squirted right out of my hand. They opened, so we can go ahead and pair to them because they're open on the floor now. Let's go ahead and pair. I'm telling you how to put them on. So we're gonna go ahead and stick them in the ear, twist them into place. How do they look? What do you think of the appearance of them? Let me know. Here's my instructions. So they're in. Press control instructions. So your controls are taps up there at the top. Pretty standard. How to pick up the dongle. So yeah, they show you that it's a little hard to pick up that dongle. Play while charging. Yep, you can do pass through. All right, controls. A double tap is play pause. My left bud was not connected there. As you can see, left is grayed out. It's because it's not connected. My light is off on one of them. You can see how one's on, one's off. Bear with me a moment. Let's see if I can correct this. Okay, I popped them back in. I closed them, closed the case, and opened it back up after a little bit, and I think we're good. So let's try to connect now. All right, we are now connected. Let's start going through some of these things. Light effect, breathe mode, light on mode, like on the buds themselves. Are the lights on? Light on mode, select light color. Breathe, does it do it when, look at that. What on earth? You can just have them on. Sick. You have RGB on your head now. I mean, what more could you possibly want? Let's go back into these controls here. So single tap you can turn on to change volume up and down. That's fine. Double tap, left next, right is play pause. Hold for 2 seconds. Left is voice assistant, right is voice assistant. But you can customize these. So let's see here. I'm going to leave the volume fine there. Right, play pause. I think that's okay too. Is there anything I can do on the left bud that might be better than have it? What is super hearing? I mean, I want to have super hearing all the time. So let's try that. I got no feedback that anything had happened, but the thing changed here. What is this EQ is only suitable for it's for FPS games. It's supposed to enhance. Got it. Okay. I wish there was something that told me that I had successfully done that because it just doesn't. So probably not going to worry about that actually. Dongle like it. So let's see what the dongle does. I guess you can just, okay, that's how you just connect to the dongle. So maybe I don't have to do that manually each time or what. We'll get into that. Equalizer, default. You can have a custom equalizer or the default one. I tend to, want to have my own custom one, but we'll fool with that here in just a moment. You can add multiple though, look like at the bottom. Yeah, looks like that's most of our stuff here. MetaQuest mode. It improves the connection. MetaQuest Wi-Fi is poor and reduces the network interference. Very, very cool. The connection distance is reduced though. That's not a big deal because it's on your head and it's on your head. That should be fine. Game and talk. While playing a game with the dongle, you can also answer calls without playing the game. That's fantastic. This is all great. Let's go and open up YouTube Music so I can at least hear what this thing is going to sound like. Pretty punchy bass. Not bad. Honestly, not bad at all. Let's hit the scoop. These sound pretty good. They're not the most detailed earbuds I've ever listened to, but they sound pretty decent. Now, you don't have ANC or anything like that to play around with, but sound quality-wise, I'm fairly impressed with them. Now, the next thing we have to do, because now we know how they work on your phone with music and so forth, we need to know how do they work on your headset. So again, this is pretty simple here, right? So here's your dongle, and you're just going to plug this thing in there to the side of your Quest. And I actually heard it make a noise in my ear. So theoretically, they should be connected here. And if we go and we look at the app, you'll see that that is the case. You can see I've already had my headset on. I've already tested it a little bit, and I have some thoughts. So it's relatively easy to plug in, to connect, and to use. I will say that unless there's some sort of setting or something that I'm not seeing, which I can't imagine that there is, MetaQuest mode turned itself back off. So I guess I need to test it again, because what I was about to say was the latency was very much there. It was like I'd throw a punch in my boxing game and it would be like, boom, boom. So that wasn't great. Now that I've turned this back on again, let's see if it's better. Okay, yeah, it definitely is better with that setting turned on. If you're using it with your Oculus Quest, your MetaQuest, turn that setting on. It is absolutely necessary. I did still feel like there was just the tiniest amount of delay. It wasn't significant, but it felt like it was still there, okay? But it's definitely a lot better. They sound pretty good when I'm landing those shots. There is a nice little oomph to it, a nice little impact. So I think in terms of using them with the Quest, that's a pretty good solution. Now, the next thing I want to check out is, one, I guess I need to see how well pass-through mode works. My Quest now is about halfway dead. So I'm going to plug it in and see what the charging rate is at about a halfway dead point and see what that looks like. So we're plugged in now. We're charging at about 11 watts, which is pretty normal. And this is coming through a 100-watt charger. So that's definitely not bottlenecking in any way. So charging seems to be pretty much the same. No problems there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try this thing out on the Steam Deck. I want to see what kind of latency we get while using it on the deck in a game. So let's fire up a game. Plug it in, and let's see what happens. Okay, so that's a little bit of a problem with my Steam Deck thing there. It's kind of, oh no, it's actually kind of in the way of my deck mate, or my deck mate is in the way of it. Can we get it plugged in enough that it will still work with the deck mate there? Yeah, just barely. That might require some future work to make sure that's a bit better. But at any rate, there we go. So let's launch Minecraft real quick, which for some reason does not want to work. So we'll launch Dinkum instead. Haven't played this in a long time. I kind of forgot this game existed. So we'll check this out. I don't know what's going on, but nothing wants to launch on my Steam Deck. So I'm going to reboot it and see if anything will actually work now. Okay, don't know what that was about, but we are now actually launching into the game. And while it's loading, I reckon I probably have to go into my settings here and go to audio, output device, VR-P10 dongle, and it is absolutely working. I can hear just fine through this. Now we need to, again, check and see if that latency is worth noting. Probably take like a sander or like a Dremel or something and kind of reduce the width of the Steam Deck Buddy. Is that what it's called? Deckmate? Deckmate's what it's called. And make that work. Okay. Look at all these crafting recipes I'm unlocking. Wow, I'm so good at this game. Okay, let's go outside here. Not a lot of latency on that, I can tell you that much. Yeah. This seems totally fine. Yeah, I'm not hearing any latency at all. This is totally fine. What about a game like Doom that's all loud noises and metal music and rock and roll? Let's test it out. So I can already tell you just from the menu that this thing sounds pretty decent. There's some rumbling bass going on. Let's jump into my campaign that I have not played in a couple of months, and let's continue. But yeah, just from the menu music, which if you play Doom, you know what it sounds like. There was definitely some nice rumbles going on there that was pretty impressive. Hearing some nice rumbles here as well. I'm not going to be able to play this game well, so don't judge my skills here. I'm a mouse and keyboard player anyways. I suck with joysticks, but also I'm going to be like leaned way back and not really holding the thing properly. So again, just sort of a, you know, don't judge me too harshly. All right, stop the meltdown. Not likely. Ooh, okay, so I'm hearing the flames in my right ear. So that's pretty cool. Definitely not detecting any latency in terms of like when my feet are hitting the ground. That seems to be pretty much perfect. Some nice low rumble to the audio as well. Here's somebody that wants to die. What's the button to do that? I don't remember. Clicking the stick, that's right. Yeah, I mean, this sounds pretty good, guys. I'm pretty pleased with these. I could totally game this way. Now, the question of, you know, how comfortable is it to have earbuds in, you know, for a long period of time while you're gaming? Like, that's another question, you know? And it's going to be hard to say specifically for one person. Like, you're going to have to kind of see that yourself. But they feel relatively comfortable, at least in this short burst here. Here's a test about how the actual audio sounds, because if you're gaming with these things, theoretically, these are going to be your microphone as well in Discord and your voice chat, whatever you're using, or of course in phone calls as well. So what you're hearing now is what they sound like. Theoretically, these would work on the Nintendo Switch as well, which I would test, but unfortunately my Switch is dead, so I don't have a great way to test that for you. But I think overall, these things are very, very interesting. Now, looking at them again, $100 is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. But if you're this person, if you're somebody that maybe you game on your Steam Deck, on your Switch, on your Quest, and you want to have that audio, this is potentially a decent option. I should mention, I just noticed this. I forgot to mention this on the dual connection thing. I tried to play music with them on my Quest audio. I play music on my phone, the audio stopped. So in terms of a dual connection, that does not seem like that's a thing that you can do. Yeah, just double checked it on the Steam Deck. It is definitely not something you can do. Once audio starts playing on another device like that, it's going to take the priority away from whatever the dongle is doing. So that's a bit of a bummer. But again, you want a set of earbuds that are, decent sounding for music, pretty good. I'd say above average. Maybe not for $100. They're probably be better earbuds in terms of audio quality for music than these for $100. But with that dongle, if you want to be that person that uses them for both things, right? Like I just said a minute ago, with your deck, with your Quest 2, these do make some sense, and the latency is very, very low. It's pretty much undetectable. So yeah, there you go. That is pretty much my thoughts on the Soundcore VR P10 wireless earbuds. Big shout out to Anchor for sending these things over. As always, they do have zero editorial influence over this video, and they are seeing it at the exact same time that you are yourself. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.